Hello and welcome to This Versus That, your number one source of amusing and intense would you rather situations. I am your host, Tim. Now it's time to choose this or that. Today's episode: instantly have a 4-year college degree and all the knowledge included, or have $100,000 cash right now. Let's take a look at our first option: instantly have a 4-year college degree and all the knowledge included. First of all, I love education. I love learning new things. I've been to college. I have a degree. I enjoyed it. I love the pursuit of knowledge, and I definitely understand the importance of having a college degree. I understand the importance of having an education. It really is something that I feel like if you have the opportunity, go to college or go to a trade school. Trade schools are just as important as a regular college because we're always going to need electricians, we're always going to need mechanics, we're always going to need cooks, people who know how to make like actual food as opposed to just flipping a burger. I'm not throwing any shade to anyone who works in the fast food restaurant, but we can't have hamburgers for every meal for the rest of our lives. The idea of not only learning how to cook, but learning how to cook like extra, I don't even say extra fancy food, but just the idea of a higher education after high school is really, really important. And again, like if you have the opportunity to go to college or to a trade school, take it. But not only that, just like knowing everything that there is to know in the field, like you can do a lot with that. Like almost no matter what degree you go in, you would pick, it could be very beneficial for you. With that being said, I also acknowledge that a lot of times now when you're like looking for work, it's not enough to have a 4-year college degree. You need to be at like you need to be above a bachelor's. You need to have like a master's. And even then, at least from my experience, I see a lot of employers who don't even like ask for a college degree. They're like, "Oh yeah, it would be nice, but it isn't necessary. But we want you to have, 15 years of experience in the field." And it's really hard. So a little bit of background. My degree is in psychology, and a lot of places it's really hard to get in with that degree because it's like, as a psychologist, it's I first of all I need to get my license. But after that, it's like, oh yeah, if you want to work somewhere reputable, you need, like 10, 15 years of experience. And it's like, okay, cool. I can't get experience unless, you give me the job and then I can have, the experience. It's like, no, you need the experience first. It's like, yeah, but I went to school for it. Like I let's just say for the sake of this, I had a PhD. So yeah, but I have a PhD in psychology. They're like, yeah, but you don't have like 10 years of experience. Like, no, we're not going to hire you. And so you now run the risk of, your degree being practically useless. Like, that's kind of how I feel with mine in psychology. Like, I don't use it. Like, most of the time, the only time I do use it is when somebody comes to me for advice. I'm like, okay, this is what I think you should do. This is why I think you should do it. And here's what I feel like will happen if you don't do it. But it's not really... It's not really me using my degree. It's me using it as a reason as to why you should listen to what I'm trying to tell you. But it's again, this is a hard one because I know the importance of going to college and getting an education, but with how the world is today, it's just so, like, the degree almost means nothing no matter what you're in. Like, yeah, it looks good, but it doesn't. Oh, just to me, it just doesn't open as many doors as it used to. And so now you're in like this. So, fun fact: a lot of places are even afraid to hire people for positions because they feel like that person is overqualified. And so like it's not just with like your work experience, but like, oh, you went to, Harvard. Yeah, you're probably going to ask too much of us for this position. So yeah, we're going to give this position to somebody else who has a degree from, Brown University or like a community college, because we feel like they're not going to be as demanding with what they want out of this job in regards to like perks. So it's a double-edged sword, but I still say, if you have a chance to go to college, do it. You're not gonna regret it. You might hate how much you owe because college is stupid expensive now, and it's not right, but that's not why we're here. I know that a lot. I get in a lot of tangents that aren't really part of the subject. So with that being said, let's take a look at the $100,000 cash right now. I'm going to go with the assumption that I'm not going to be taxed for it. So $100,000. The cool thing is like the pros and cons to it. Like for me personally, yeah, I would pay off a couple of bills that I have to pay, but at the same time, like guys, I love doing this podcast. I know I went MIA for a little while. Like I said in one of my earlier episodes, there's just some stuff going on right now where I can't focus as much time on my podcast, but I really want to. That's why whenever I have the time, I want to pre-record, 4 or 5 episodes so I can just take the 10 minutes to just upload the content for you. But I want this channel to grow. So with that money, like, yeah, obviously I would pay, my necessary bills, but with the rest of it, like I would get me a studio, I would get me better recording equipment, I would get me a better microphone. Because, guys, the microphone that I'm using is a microphone on a headset that I got at, like, a CVS, like, a year and a half ago, so I could do Twitch back when I was doing Twitch streaming, which also flopped. So, yeah, I like I said, I would get me, better microphone, better recording equipment, a good studio, because so behind the scenes, my quote-unquote studio right now is my bedroom, and my computer is right above an air vent that goes off like every 5 minutes. So I have to, pay really close attention to that because I have to pause the recording and wait for the air conditioner to stop after, like 10-15 minutes. Well, the air vent goes on for like 10-15 minutes, then I can, get back to recording. I have to remember where I was. Then I have to record, like keep recording, keep an eye out for the sounds so you guys don't have to hear that. And I would just go all in on the podcast. Like I want this to grow. Like my personal goal is to have, 100 subscribers by my birthday next month. It isn't, chances are it's not going to happen, but I'd like to see that happen by the end of the year. Let's get to 500 subscribers, maybe even 1,000 if we're really, really ambitious. But I want this channel to go somewhere, and I could do that with the $100,000. Like, if you had $100,000, like whatever your hobby or your passion is, like it opens doors for you. You now have the financial resources to do what you want to do. You don't have to limit, you don't have to suffer from limitations. I mean, you still would, because, really high-end equipment is, like, stupid expensive. But you're not as limited. Like, I do digital art. And going from... I got like this super cheap like Walmart tablet a few years ago, and like it was fine. Like I got Procreate, and it was fine. But when I went from that to the iPad I have now, the iPad Pro 12.9, just there's a night and day difference. Like you if you love music and you love playing instruments, like you can find videos like this all over the place where it's like, okay, yeah, let's compare this $100 Amazon musical instrument to this, $5,000 instrument, and just there is a noticeable difference in the quality of what you're putting out. And so with $100,000, like just think about like everything I could do with that. Like I can get like sound blocking foam. I can, like I said, just new. I could maybe even do like get a nice webcam so I can do like face lives with you all, which is something I would love to do. I would love to, like, as soon as my channel grows, do like a 1 day a week where I just do a live stream, and in the comments or in the live chat, like you guys can like give this or that questions for me, and we can just sit and just shoot the breeze for like an hour or two. Like that would be amazing. But just where I'm at right now with my equipment, I just can't do that. But with 100,000, yeah, I could totally like make things happen. And so I guess it just comes down to our decision. What are we gonna pick? What am I gonna pick? I think at the end of the day, at least today, chances are I could change my answer, a week from today. But I have to go with the $100,000. Like I love education. I know how important it is, but it's not. You run the risk of not being able to make anything happen with that. And I know it's the same thing you run into when you have $100,000, but $100,000 you have at least in my eyes at this point in time, you have a better chance of making things happen. You can take care of things. You can do things that you want to do. Like it doesn't even have to be for like a career or hobbies. You can just take the trip you've always wanted to go on. You just have the ability to do things. And yeah, I have to, I'm going to submit my answer, pushing the button, final answer. I'm picking the $100,000. Guys, leave in the comments section, what did you pick? And guys, don't forget to like, share on all of your favorite social media, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these podcasts. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.